Hello, beautiful souls. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope you all had an amazing Beltane experience, journey. I hope it was forgiving, the energies for your process. I hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed yourselves, whether you celebrate it or not. It marks the middle of, in between the spring equinox and the summer solstice, so we're halfway there to the center of the year, of the summer already. I'm in the Abbey Gardens here. I'm not in my usual spot. They seem to have moved the bench and they've not returned it, and I'm a little bit tempted to go and grab a bench and just put it back there, because it's such a perfect spot, such a beautiful view and nice and secluded, but you get to see what's going on and feel the energies. But I feel it's not worth getting into a hassle, into a little bit of an argument with somebody that might have an issue with that, so it's not really worth it. So I'm just here in an interesting space that I've not found. The space feels really different. Everything's really grown so much just the past few days. Like it's so the meadows. It's just it's grown so much. So I wanted to make a video to you guys. I was feeling like doing one on the Beltane, but things shifted and I'm feeling really strongly to post a video for you guys today. I've been becoming increasingly acutely aware of an eruption of the collective shadow that we are amidst right now, and it became increasingly highlighted to me yesterday, just a lot of the experiences that I've been having, and in all of the collective fields and timelines and spaces and dimensions that I'm inhabiting. It just feels like there's a lot of upheaval and chaos, and a lot is being revealed to us. A lot of people having issues with their families. A lot is coming up in their family units that is being shown to them to be, hopefully, if it can be done, to be integrated and to be embodied and to be owned. I assume you guys know what shadow work is. If you're in my life, you know the context in which we met. I'm sure, I assume you know what shadow work is, but if not, feel free to let me know and I'll happily do a video on that. But we have shadows as individuals, parts of ourselves that we have disowned, taught ourselves that we're ugly or unlovable or that will cause people to withdraw love growing up, or to judge us, or whatever it is. So we taught ourselves to disown crucial parts of ourselves, our soul, our embodied self, our divinity, and we've casted it into shadow to fester and to under the carpet, brushed it under the carpet, and they come out in shadowy ways. We don't see it, and we suddenly express it unconsciously, and then we have the collective shadow. We are a collective unit, we are one, and we are experiencing separation and individuation, but ultimately we are one unit, one network, and we have our individual shadows, but we have the collective shadow, and the collective shadow is erupting big time, and it has been massively since 2020 with the upheaval of COVID, the great wake-up call, the great awakening, that showed us where we're at. And so there's a lot of chaos going on right now, so it is important that you hold your light and that you stay true to what you feel inside of you that is true, that you say what you feel guided to say, that you act on what you feel guided to act on. Now, what does it mean for somebody to project their shadow onto you? Now, it's an example. Let me see if I can think of an example. If I were to say something to somebody, and they were to respond and make out that I'm trying to do something or trying to say something that isn't in alignment with what I know I'm saying or doing, what my intentions are, and they're projecting that maybe I'm being hard on them, or maybe I'm treating them in a certain way, and I know that I'm not doing that because I am me, I am myself. Yes, I do have my shadow, and that gets casted out, but when you pay attention and you're mindful of it and you sit in your anchored, embodied sense of self, you know, you're able to tell when it is your shadow and when it is others. Now, not always, but sometimes you can tell when you're in that knowing. It's important. It's really important to know yourself and know what is your stuff and know what is others. And so they are projecting their stuff onto you. So for example, one of my shadows is that, like, for me growing up, I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel loved growing up. Not because I wasn't loved, okay, my parents loved me, my friends loved me, but the way they communicated it to me was not translated and was not felt energetically by me. So my whole life I felt like, growing up, I've been operating on this simulation of I am unlovable, and I also wasn't given boundaries growing up. So now whenever people put up boundaries, I take it really personally, and I think that they're being really hard and they're being really kind of disrespectful and all these kind of things for me. So that's my shadow. That's me projecting my story onto them, making it out that they are the ones being in the wrong, whereas no, it's me. Perhaps I just walked over a boundary, I didn't see it. I own that, I apologize. And doesn't mean that they don't love me, it just means that they need a bit of space. So that's me owning my shadow. And another example could be what I'm receiving from other people. What I'm receiving from one person in particular is, I've been speaking up about her crossing my boundary, and very firmly, because I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. When I see somebody crossing my boundary, I'm not going to stand for that. I'm going to speak up, and I'm going to be as respectful and compassionate as possible. And then she took that personally and then put herself into the victim mode and then made me out to be the baddie. And so that's her projecting her shadow onto me. So there's a lot of this going on, and it's important to remember to not take it personally as best as you can, and take it all with a pinch of salt, and remember that this too shall pass. I've been having to have a lot of really courageously authentic and real conversations with people. I've really had to raise some important and address some important things that I've needed to address. And it is scary because I don't want to lose my close souls. I'm doing this with quite a lot of close souls, and I don't want to lose people. But that's just the way it is, I can't keep myself small and allow people to walk on my boundaries just so that I can maintain a friendship that isn't in alignment with my authentic self, with who I wish to be in this life. So this too shall pass. Don't take it too seriously if you can. Take it all with a pinch of salt, and recognize as well, crucially, that the aim of the game, we are all going the same way. We are all headed in the same destination. We are just taking different directions. We are traveling down different rivers. Okay, so we're all doing our shadow work. The key here with doing shadow work with other people is to do it with people that clearly make the intention of wanting to work on themselves, wanting to create a space for you to work on yourself. We are working together. Shadow work, we are working together. So when you raise this discussion with people, you are working with them, not against them. We are all in this together. We are all headed towards the same destiny, and that is the golden ages, which is right here, right now happening, and we are invoking it from within, and we are wading our way through the shadows. And it is so crucial that we hold our light. We are anchored in our hearts, and we remember the light and the divinity of our souls, because if we just lose ourselves to the darkness, we have no frame of reference, we have no anchoring, and we get lost in that, and we lose our purpose in that, and it gets difficult, and it gets tragic. We don't know ourselves, we don't know our light, and we just get lost in the darkness. We take it all so personally, we identify with it and only with it. So it's so important to be anchored in both the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, in both polarities, while recognizing the unity and the oneness of everything and the interconnectedness of everything. So remember your light, hold your light, stay anchored in your light, stay anchored in your truth, and gracefully and as respectfully as you can for yourself and for others, move through that shadow energy that is coming up for you. If this is hitting you, it doesn't necessarily seem to be affecting everyone, but it's certainly affecting a lot of people on my field of awareness right now. Different people, not just Glastonbury, other people, other countries, other fields of consciousness that I'm inhabiting with other people. So remember that we're in this together, we're working through this together. Be as kind and respectful as you can when communicating and putting up your boundaries, and telling them, this is not okay, I respect you, I respect your shadow, but please do not give it to me. I do not take on board your stuff, okay? It's not my karma, okay? We are carrying so much karma. We carry our own karma from our past lives. We also carry our biological family karma. Myself, I was very much the sponge of the family, and I took on board everyone in my family's stuff. All of their karma was given to me, and I'm doing my best to release that and set that free, and gift it back to the divine to be recycled into love and something optimal that can assist in this great awakening we are embarking on as a species. So don't take on board any karma that is not yours to take on board, unless you choose to, unless you wish to do so that you can alchemize it. But don't unconsciously take on board the weight of the world onto your back. And hold up a mirror, okay? Put up your armor and reflect it back peacefully. Okay, this isn't about, oh, you're firing your shadow at me, I'm gonna fire it back, because that just perpetuates it. Okay, great. So you're not letting it hit you, you're not letting it affect you, but you're perpetuating it, and then you're triggering them, and then you're adding fuel to the fire. So do not take on board other people's shadows when you feel guided to do so, which I would recommend in most scenarios. But and it can be triggering for sure. It's very triggering. I've dealt with a lot of it in Glastonbury. People just casting their shadow onto me, and it is hella triggering. So when we're triggered, it's very hard to speak from the heart, because we move like all the way out here, and it just gets all crazy. So it's so important to remember to be as mindful as possible in that, to stay in the center of your being, in your truth, in your heart, in love, in the embrace of your divinity. Speak respectfully to others when putting your boundaries up, and gifting it back to them in a loving way, for them to own and to not cast onto other people. Okay, we have a responsibility as light workers to own our shit and to do our work, and to not be casting and projecting all of our stuff onto other people. It really doesn't help anything. It just perpetuates everything. We have to stay centered as best as we can. So communicate respectfully, mindfully, compassionately, but honor yourself, honor your truth at all costs, and love everybody and everything. And we are in this together. So yeah, big interesting times. We're going through a lot. We just had the Beltane. The energies have been really intense for me personally. Brought up a lot from my past that I'm clearing. A lot of stuff around feeling unlovable, feeling abandoned, feeling like I was just casted away from the nest and I'm a waste of space, all this stuff. All these are deep emotions that I suppressed, that has been coming out in shadow, and I've been owning it to the best of my abilities and clearing it and crying and purging and all this kind of stuff. And then yeah, it's eclipse season. We've got a lunar eclipse today at 3:15 I think it is, until sort of 5ish GMT London time. I don't really know much about astrology. Maybe some astrologists can make some comments below. All I know is that the energy is pretty intense right now. So do your best. That's all you can do. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Forgive yourself. Do the work. Own your shit. And this will be over soon. This too shall pass. Then something else will come and replace it, until it's all cleared. Everything that we have endured in our lives, all of the karma from our ancestors, is coming up massively right now to be cleared. And once it is cleared, once we have owned everything that we have disowned and casted into shadows, then we come back to ourselves in our wholeness. And that is when the golden ages comes into fruition. It starts with us. It starts right here, right now. We are the gatekeepers to the heavens within. So yeah, sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this resonates. I hope this serves. Feel free to leave some comments. Anything you've got to say, any questions, anything else you want to add that I've missed, anything you feel I'm incorrect on, it's all welcome. So yeah, I hope you all have a beautiful Friday, and enjoy your weekend. Hope you all had an amazing Beltane, and I look forward to speaking to you guys soon. So much love to you, beautiful souls. Bye for now.